Hey there, internets. This is Kyle with another edition of the My Business Launch Secrets YouTube channel. Hope you're all doing well today. And let's talk about trying to figure out the overall workflow for producing videos. So as I talked about some yesterday, I did a breakdown and buy the old iPad and am trying to figure out the right program to do to record on the iPad while simultaneously recording via the old video. And as I mentioned, I thought Camtasia would be able to do this relatively easily, but it doesn't. And this was confirmed to me by Camtasia, technical support, who said, no, you cannot record on an iPad and record video simultaneously. But hey, that would be a cool feature, so let our development team know, blah, blah, blah. And no, I didn't do that because I don't really give two shits. But that got me to just, again, thinking about what I want to do. Again, I can use Camtasia to do the screen recording, and I can record a video through QuickTime and then just mash them together within Camtasia. Then I was thinking, well, why do I even need Camtasia then at that point? Camtasia's like $300, so it's not cheap, and I haven't bought it yet, so I'm still like a free 30-day trial. And then I was thinking that I could just take those files, I could just do a screen capture on my iPad. I mean, it has a built-in screen capture function, screen recording, and do a QuickTime video and dump those into DaVinci Resolve. And just use DaVinci Resolve, which I, spent some time learning the basics anyway for the podcast I'd done a little while ago. So maybe I could do that. And I go back to, well, I really like this app called TIMEBOLT, which you drop in your video with a bunch of ums, ahs, and pauses, and it just automatically clips all that crap out. So you get a nice, clean, constant vocal video all the way through with no pauses and breaks, which I guess millennials don't really like that. So we gotta be sure we don't keep them waiting for the valuable information that I'm spouting out of my mouth hole. And so how to use TIMEBOLT? Well, if I had a screen recording plus a video file, well, if the screen recording has audio, I guess actually it wouldn't need to have audio, because I need the audio to sync between those two clips. So I dump both those clips into DaVinci Resolve, you sync the audio, and one of them's not going to be the exact same as the other, so it'll tell you what the offset is of, say, your screen recording to your video with your good microphone, right? So you take that time shift and you can do your cuts within TIMEBOLT on your main track, your main video track, let's say. That's kind of your master audio track. You do all your cuts, you could save those cuts, and then you can apply those cuts to the second video track, i.e. the screen recording, and then just apply a manual shift for, to give it some synchronization with the timing of when that audio starts relative to your master audio file that you did all your cutting. And then, let's see, you could take the cuts. You could take the cuts from those two files. This is fucking convoluted, but take the cuts from both of those files, export it as an XML timeline. You can apply that timeline then to those video tracks in DaVinci Resolve, and it'll cut it all down just the way you wanted it. Ugh, geez, that's a lot of work. So that'll at least take care of the pauses and the gaps and whatnot. Then you still have to go through and do your editing of how you want the video to show in certain areas, and then shrink that down to show the screen recording over some periods of time, and zoom in and zoom out of the screen recording, all those sorts of edits, add graphics if you want to do that, blah, blah, blah. Geez, just like a lot of crap to do. So I was just thinking there's again, still an easier way to do it. And that's when I learned in watching various videos on different things about using something called OBS Studio. So OBS Studio is a free recording program that is similar to Camtasia in a way, I guess, but it's free for one. And it's, again, really geared more towards streaming, people that are doing streaming, and maybe you want to show have different scenes, different layouts of the view. So again, maybe in one view, one scene, it'd be just your main video feed being full screen, and then a second scene could be mostly your screen recording plus maybe a small video in the corner or something. Anyway, you could create whatever scenes you wanted of all your various video sources that you might want to be using, and then do a recording, and then you can use some shortcuts or whatever to switch between scenes, like as you're doing the recording. And so at the end of the day, they're similar to the StreamYard platform that I talked about a few days ago. You would then have a single video output file where you basically already kind of started to make some of those cuts and edits, and then you could dump that single audio file into TIMEBOlt, cut out all the edits, much easier, export that as an MP4, maybe dump that into DaVinci Resolve if you want to do some additional edits, add some text, add some audio tweaks, whatever the case may be, and then you export, then you render down to your final clips. So I don't know. I was just playing around with this OBS Studio, trying to see if I understand how that works, and it's not entirely obvious. I think it's a free program, so obviously you're not getting a super slick user interface. But I think you can probably get it to do what you want to do. The thing I don't know if you can do or not is if it can take an iPad as an input video source without having to do the whole sidecar, meaning your iPad is sort of a external monitor tied to your computer. Because I did try that in one of the other programs, and when you do it like that, there's a little bit of a lag from the time you do something on the iPad to when it's like responding, because that connection is over AirPlay or whatever the wireless connection is. So there's a little slight lag. I mean, it's not significant, but it's noticeable when you're trying to do it, and it's just like, I don't think I should need to deal with that. So again, maybe it's just better to have separate video files, one for the screen recording, one for the main video track, and then do more post-production type of stuff. But again, the trade-off there is that's going to take more time, more editing, etc. So I don't know what the fuck to do, but that's what I've been exploring this evening, as I've had a little bit of time. It is a week, so I have to work. Also, I'm working in this room here to try to do some final renovations. Need to fix some drywall, do some painting. Hopefully get started painting tomorrow. I did a bunch of the tape and mudding, 3 different coats on that. So I think I'm in good shape there. So just need to sand the walls, and it's just one section of this room that I didn't finish in the main phase of the stuff that you're seeing behind me here. Yeah, I'm also working on that in addition to keeping my day job and all that fun stuff. So I think I'll leave it there for today. It's past midnight and I'm very tired today. Had another sick kid issue last night, which is always fun to deal with. In case, hope you're doing well. Keep on kicking ass, taking names, and I'll see you next time. Peace.